Don't miss any content. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell.
Hey guys, welcome back to Sahara Football as usual. I am your host, Kwasi Appiah. Today we're going to talk about KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko player SOGNE Yacouba'S. Coach MAXWELL has revealed that it will mark the end of the season for the Burkinabe forward if he does not sign a contract or agree to the contract terms or agree to extend his contract beyond the February 23rd deadline for his contract. He feels mentally it will affect the player and probably he will translate to his play on the field. He feels the contract issues should be settled before SOGNE Yacouba'S gets onto the pitch to play for KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko once again. Now, Coach Kwasi Appiah, my next story, he has written a book titled Leaders Don't Yell. He has revealed in that book that John Mahama, who was the president of Ghana at the time when the 2014 World Cup debacle happened, asked the Ghana FA boss Kwasi Appiah to sack him, and that was why he was sacked from the Ghana Football Association after the Commission of Inquiry did their research into such stuff. My final story has to do with a Ghanaian musician, SHATTA, and Real Madrid player, Sergio Ramos. I'll be giving you more details on that as well. As usual, if you're new to the channel, I'll advise you to subscribe to the channel and to click on the notification bell to get more updates. So, without much ado, I'll get right into it. I'll start off from KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko, who, by the way, will be taking on WAFA later today. Now, KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko striker SOGNE Yacouba'S contract talks have been left in a limbo after Burkinabe forward, unfortunately, with his agent, could not agree to new contract terms with KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko. Now, the Burkinabe forward and his agent are requesting $450,000 annual income, which will translate to around $12,000 monthly for him. And KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko are saying that they cannot afford that kind of money for the Burkinabe forward. They say it's too much and have since then not been able to agree to terms with the forward. Now, Coach Maxwell KONADU, owing to that, excluded Yacouba'S from the last two games against Liberty Professionals and Accra Hearts of Oak in the Super Clash. They won the Super Clash but drew against Liberty Professionals. Now, KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko coach Maxwell KONADU, however, feels that these contractual issues could affect the player's mentality and his playing form on the field. In light of that, he has decided that if he cannot agree to new contracts, whatever terms they are on with KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko, then SOGNE Yacouba'S can kiss his season goodbye. According to KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko coach Maxwell KONADU, he says that SOGNE Yacouba'S season at the club has ended if he doesn't renew his contract after rejecting the club's offers. Now, the 28-year-old has been omitted from Kotoko's last two games, as I said, against Hearts and Liberty. Yacouba'S says he will only sign a deal with if the Porcupine Warriors will pay him an astonishing $150,000 for a 3-year deal. Speaking in an interview after the 1-1 stalemate with Liberty Professionals, Coach Maxwell KONADU said the forward will not make the matchday squad for the rest of the games if he fails to renew his contract. Like I said last weekend, Yacouba'S is now not part of my team for the season. Yacouba'S will return to the matchday squad in any of our subsequent matches if he agrees to terms with the club over a new deal. The season at Kotoko has ended if he doesn't renew his contract. Wow, SOGNE Yacouba'S, his demands are outrageous. Do you think he warrants such a pay? Many fans have previously said that Yacouba'S is not banging in the goals to demand such a high pay rise. He was their shining light in the Confederations Cup last year, but since then his form has waned, and KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko hierarchy, those in charge, the management, they feel this is too much to pay him. He hasn't been banging in the goals, he hasn't scored any goals this season, and to be asking for such high pay rise, I don't think it's warranted. Maxwell KONADU has taken the right decision, in my opinion, in not allowing him to play. The player has to be fully focused mentally and has to be focused on the game and not about contract issues. But that is the story there coming from the camp of KUMASI ASANTE Kotoko. SOGNE Yacouba'S season over if he doesn't agree to contract talks. Do you agree with Maxwell KONADU's decision on SOGNE Yacouba'S? Do you agree with him? on SOGNE Yacouba'S not playing for the Porcupine Warriors until he agrees to new contracts with them? Let me know your thoughts in the comments box. I move on to my next story. It has to do with Coach Kwasi Appiah's book, Leaders Don't Have to Yell. Now, Kwasi Appiah has revealed that his sacking in 2014 was politically motivated, and that was by the president of the time, that was John Dramani Mahama. Now, Kwasi Appiah has revealed that former President John Mahama played a huge role in his sacking. He wrote in his book, Leaders Do Not Have to Yell, that Mahama asked former Ghana football president Kwasi Appiah to sack him after they returned from the World Cup in Brazil. Ghana endured a disgraceful appearance and on and off the field. The team picked just a point from 3 games while the country was subjected to an international ridicule after money was airlifted to pay the players. Remember, yesterday I watched an interview. Coach Kwasi Appiah revealed that during that time, the players on their trip to Brazil for the tournament, they were told that when they get to the USA, they will be sent the money. They got to the USA, nothing was sent to them. They finally got to Brazil, nothing still was sent to them, and the players started getting agitated. Some of them even thought Coach Kwasi Appiah himself was in on it and was part of the corrupt people who were not willing to pay them. Coach Kwasi Appiah, in that interview I watched yesterday, he was asked whether he felt that the players did not have the passion to play for the national team without money and all that. He stated emphatically that as a player, your lifespan is 10 years, yes, in the game. And whilst you are playing the football, all you do is ever play football. You don't learn anything unless you make time for it. In some rare cases, others do. You don't do any other thing apart from play football. So you have to, in colloquial terms, secure the bag. And he doesn't fault any player in that 2014 World Cup squad for doing what they did because of the monies that were paid them. A few altercations occurred, and I'm sure you all know the story. Now, to everyone who was objectively looking at the facts of the circumstances surrounding the Brazil 2014, it was obvious that my termination was an attempt by the powers that be to shift blame away from themselves, Kwasi Appiah wrote. Kwasi Appiah called me to his office that day and informed me that he had been asked by the president of the nation to relieve me of my duties. The book launched on Friday. I'm yet to get my copy. The nugget has nuggets the coach considers key to leadership in general, not just to football specifically. Kwasi Appiah was reappointed in 2017 and worked for 2.5 years before finally being replaced by current coach CK Akono, who he made assistant coach in 2019 November. So that is it there with Coach Kwasi Appiah. I move on to my final story, and it has to do with Real Madrid and SHATTA. Real Madrid captain Sergio Ramos tags SHATTA in his Instagram post after the game they won against Atletico Madrid in the Madrid derby. In his Insta stories, Sergio Ramos was playing SHATTA's tune with Beyonce already, in that album, The Lion King, and he tagged him in the great move there for SHATTA. Ghanaian dancehall artist SHATTA has gotten his name tagged in an Instagram post by captain of Real Madrid Football Club and Spanish national team Sergio Ramos. Now, the Real Madrid player, who seems to love the already song with Beyonce and Major Lazer, tagged the dancehall artist alongside Beyonce and Major Lazer in connection to their collaboration on Beyonce's Lion King, The Gift album. Beyonce and Major Lazer teamed up with Ghana musician SHATTA on a sensual mood. The album features a couple of African artists as well. Big ups to SHATTA. So that has been it for today. I've been talking to you about Coach Kwasi Appiah's book. He says the powers that be, that is the president of the land at that time, John Dramani Mahama, who sacked from the Ghana Black Stars coach post after the 2014 World Cup debacle. They wanted not to take any blame whatsoever for the events that happened. I've also been talking to you about Kotoko player SOGNE Yacouba'S. Coach MAXWELL KONADU says he will not play any further if he doesn't agree to new contracts with the Porcupine Warriors. Your thoughts on everything are welcome. SHATTA WALE'S music being played there by Sergio Ramos. Big ups to the king. I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your day.